Hey, young world, we are back here once again. My name is Verbz, and I'm here with
Steez.
and we are the Crate Diggers. We got another record for you to listen to, react to
Yes,
with
sir.
us today. We got one of the all-time greatest lyricists there ever has been. We got my man Lupe Fiasco, IGotcha, off his seminal record, Food and Liquor from 2006.
You gotcha.
This one's produced by Pharrell, so you know it's BB banging. So let's get into this one. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Crate Diggers.
All right, so we pulled out the record here. We got Lupe, 2006. Like I said, I Gotcha is the single. That's all it's on here. We got instrumentals, acapellas, album versions, but
Yes, sir.
very much focused on this one right here.
Mhm.
So, Steezo, what do you think? What do you feel? What are your thoughts and feelings on my man Lupe Fiasco?
Lupe Fiasco was attached to what wasn't it, like Pharrell and Kanye?
Oh yeah, the Child Rebel Soldiers. We were just
But,
chopping
even
it
as an
up. It
artist.
never really came out. It never happened. But
But
it would've been
even
nice.
as an artist, he was just attached to those names. Right?
True.
When he was coming out,
and Jay-Z,
And
Jay-Z's
Jay-Z.
the executive producer on this record.
and at that point, there wasn't a whole mess of artists that were basically shouted out or very much associated with Jay-Z or Kanye at that point. And him introducing somebody was like the ultimate stamp of approval. There's not many people like those guys.
Yeah,
and
very true.
and when they give the level of approval to them, and they're the type of artists that talk about being the greatest of all time, there's some type of level of skill and passion that he's shown where it's like, oh, you got to trust that they're right about this kid. And around Food and Liquor, that album coming out, and even the subsequent leak of the album with different versions, different songs, those themselves, I don't know the titles, but those themselves, I remember driving around, I think it was in your Nissan, just bumping Lupe's leaked first album. This is how much he was everyone was waiting for him to drop.
All that F and F stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And when all that stuff dropped, the level of production, skill, creativity, all that stuff, I was like, oh my God. I said it before the show started, I felt like this kid was the prodigy of hip hop that was coming up, where he was also doing, he could be stylish, he could be cool, but the lyrics were the focus of everything. And man, did he deliver for 3 or 4 albums straight. You couldn't have been hotter than Lupe was at that time. And this I Gotcha is one of those songs where I was like, God damn.
Well,
Pharrell and him.
yeah, exactly.
Crazy. They were crazy.
He's one of these guys who can put rhymes together in ways that other people can't. It really is about when you're getting into poetry, you get into these ABC rhymes and all that.
Yep.
And when you break down Lupe Fiasco rhyme schemes, they're just absolutely insane.
They're
where
insane.
all of the connections come and the insular meanings and metaphors, and it just he came out in this era where it was like, oh, we're listening to every word and really examining lyrics, and this is kind of
There's a guy delivering on that.
exactly, and it's kind of a bygone thing to be analyzing lyrics in that way, other than Kendrick Lamar.
Yep.
Shout out Kendrick.
Shout out Kendrick in the Super Bowl halftime.
We'll say it every time. We'll come back. But this definitely was one of these eras where you're getting somebody, like you're saying, is this prodigy being put forward as all right, this might be the next dude up.
He's it.
I got let's my own personal experiences here. I got to meet Lupe in this era. I went to a record store signing over at Jackpot Records on Burnside when it used to be on Burnside here in Portland. Went with one of my friends, Holly, and I think I got a magazine signed. I honestly don't even remember. It was I just hung out there, and I have a very looking too hard ass picture. Cue the picture with Lupe and my homegirl Holly from this era. And then I had the privilege of a few years later being able to be the house DJ opening for Lupe, and you know, I'll give you a real personal state. This is piece for me. Lupe has a song called "Fighters."
Yeah.
That "Fighters" was essentially the song I listened to on the night my dad passed away, and I was driving home, and that was, he talks about his pop's not feeling more pain, and I don't think he's talking about his dad because I've met his dad, but probably grandfather or something like that. But
right.
Those lyrics maybe hit me harder than anything that could possibly hit at that time. So
for sure, yeah.
My connection to Lupe felt real strong. So when I met him, I got to tell him that story and have him sign my copy of The Cool, which is really dope. I'm really,
That's great.
Really excited and proud I got that record out there. But yeah, so Lupe means a lot to me. I definitely feel like there was a moment where I was definitely very much focused on this style of MC, and I was in some kind of headspace where you had to save hip hop. Now I don't partake to this anymore, but I understand where that thought was at this moment.
Yeah.
Lupe, also another person we got to see up at Bumbershoot Festival, which is one of our all-time favorite music events that we've ever gone to. We got to see him with Kanye, which is absolutely
insane.
Might
remember. You have to remind me, who was the lineup when it was it Brother Ali? Who was with not at Bumbershoot, but in the I believe it was the Crystal Ballroom show. We saw Lupe.
Yeah. I opened for Lupe at Crystal.
Right, but there was another two artists there. What wasn't there? It was like Brother Ali or something. It was some kind of crazy lineup.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't remember what the lineups were with them.
That show, he had already released The Cool, I believe, and so he had all his hits. That's when I was like, oh, we have to recognize Lupe as one of the greats now. Because of this, like I said, when we first heard this guy, we're like, stamp of approval by the greats. You just dropped a hot album, and then he kills that album. Kick Push, IGotcha, some other songs.
Yeah, Kick Push is directly connecting to a black audience doing skateboarding, which is an audience that was there but did not get acknowledged and became part of the culture. He was a rap
nerd, a video game nerd, a Japan fan, everything about him.
All of his super high-end French shit that he likes, like his Go Yard bags and all of his shit.
And his jeans.
And his certain Mont Blanc pens and all of his shit. We
latched
on to what he was talking about.
He immediately shouts out Lupin the Third, something I saw immediately when I was a kid. Just everything he was doing referentially, and every way that he was good at connecting his themes throughout an entire album.
For sure.
The cool is a concept in itself when you listen to that front to back. But Food and Liquor was this era of oh, this guy spits crazy. You had to hear the flow, the metaphors, everything all together. And then you realize he's with Kanye and Pharrell. There are no hotter producers at that time. Maybe for that 10-year span, those guys were the guys. And still are. But that incredible level of attention to detail was so clear. And just even now, this many years ahead, I feel this honor of how much I've celebrated this guy throughout my career, because he's such a good dude. He's so passionate. He's so intelligent. It's something where it's I'm really proud that dude represents that era of hip hop.
Yeah,
he's so cool. Front to back artist. That's how I feel about him.
So let's do what we do on this show. Let's listen and react to some vinyl from my man Lupe Fiasco off of Atlantic Records. I'd say 2006. All right, Food and Liquor. Yep. And this is going to be the album version. Now there was a little smudge spot here. Maybe I had a sticker on it. I tried to smudge it off as we were getting started here, but let's see if we can get it. Produced by the Neptunes. Here's a classic. Let's go.
I also feel like this dude just he doesn't have a direct influence he's taken from me. I feel like he's being very original.
Chicago, man. I always love that.
So good. And I love how this is your bass layer and then this comes in. That's crazy.
They call me Lupe. I be your new day. They wanna smell like me, they want my bouquet.
Oh, a
But
great
they
rap
can't,
name,
they
Lupe
accent it
Fiasco.
like the
What the hell?
UK.
That's so
Turn that
sick.
Uday,
So
Lupe
many
the
lyrics
Pepe,
you could
the
go
boot
off of.
spray. Flagrantly fragrant and they can't escape it. My perfume pursued them everywhere that they went. You don't wanna lonely, my cologne alone is a little too strong for you to be putting on. Trust me, I say this justly. I went from musty to musky, and y'all can't mush me. I warn y'all cornballs, I hush puppies.
Ugh, what a bar.
Swans in the pond called my duck ugly, but now they hug me because it's lovely. They love the aroma of the world. Got the shakers and the skaters and the players and the girls.
He does have a little Jay-Z influence.
You want the drama? Hey, I gotcha. You want the realness? Well, I gotcha. I know you're sick of them niggas big and watch ya. Either they pimps or they max or they monsters.
His knowledge of all cultures is kind of crazy. Because he's very Chicago. He's very Chicago, but he seems to know everything. Like Japan, he seems to know everything. So he flies around.
We used to gangbang, a lot of that then died down. Children of the hat tilting, keeping hope alive now. All with no high, I do it so fly. Banksy's attack helicopter with the bow tie. I love my city, really hope that God bless it. Had my mind moving faster than that hog in the hedges. Welcome all of y'all to my dark
Little
recess.
Sonic
Vince
reference.
Vinny
Vinny Schwaz.
Sonic 5 inbound, I'm sure. That bass line change up though.
And I be on my green like Irish Spring. Then I coast fudge with it, get a mouthful of soap.
Another guy who is so perfect at song structure is Pharrell.
Either they pimps or they max or they mobsters. You want the real shit? Oh, I gotcha. You see my niggas here? You know we proper. You know we do it right. And so to sign off, this beat I rhyme off. It's from Thelonious P and Hugo Mind Boss.
Thelonious P is the coolest thing you could possibly call him.
Shout out Chad Hugo too.
Total Chad.
I'm on my pimp, my temperature is tempura. I take it easy
What a
on watching
bar.
TV and my cleanest my Harishi. See the hair is trying to beat me. I
Come on.
continue to do
Come on.
pace. Them say him got 2 heads and 4 eyes, just like Screwface. But see my secret safe. It's in my secret safe. That's in my secret room. On my secret base. So from the runner of the F&F crew, come in hip.
He's so fucking clever, bro. This is your introduction to him? He's got flow, he's swaggered
Yeah, this
out.
is his second single right here. So he just kick push and then this one. And then Daydreaming, which is an absolute classic.
It's got big NERD energy all over this song. You know Pharrell wishes he has this whole song to himself.
I love their like little simple thin sounds that they turn into big beats, which is crazy.
It's like corny keyboard sounds
Yeah,
that they're
exactly.
like, no, they're fire.
Yeah.
No, they're fire. You play the right notes, they're fire. He's going
Yes,
ham. I'm
sir.
pretty sure he's going ham on what's that instrument? The
Like accordion.
and an accordion
Yeah.
keyboard sound.
Sample, yeah.
I think that's what he's going ham on
A
right
little
there.
squeeze boxing. Hey,
That's incredible to be that gifted at like you're making rap. Rap's supposed to be cool, and he goes accordion keyboard sound. Here we go. Bump, 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 bump. You're like, what?
yeah, absolutely.
You're that good?
You know what?
A god.
We got a lot of benefits and beautiful things you can do with vinyl. So
Yeah.
one of the nice things is they give you an acapella. Since we got one of the greatest MCs of all time just rhyming here, let's just listen to some song structure and some lyric structure. Let's go.
Lupe bars, man. He teach a class on them.
Yes, it is. Lupe.
I don't remember this old ad lib.
Chicago, man.
I assume that was the beat going there.
You know I had ya. Right. You know.
Is that for real?
They call me Lupe, I be your new day. They wanna smell like me, they want my bouquet, but they can't, they accent it like the UK. Turn that
You can
Uday,
hear
Lupe to
the
Pepe, looking
instrumental
spray, flagrantly fragrant,
his
and they can't
headphones.
escape
Yeah.
it. My
That's
perfume
crazy.
That's something that happens a
pursued
lot.
them everywhere
I've heard that
they
all
went.
throughout,
You don't
like,
want a
90s
lonely, my
and
cologne alone.
you can hear
It's a
Biggie,
little too
like, listening
strong
to
for you to be
beats.
putting on. Trust me, I say this justly. I went from musty to musky, and y'all can't mush me. I warn y'all cornballs, I hush puppies.
He'll
The
keep
swans
a
in the
bar,
pond
like,
called my duck
theme
ugly,
going
but
for,
now
like,
they
4
hug me because it's lovely. They love the aroma of the world. Got the shakers and the skaters and the players and the girls. Keep the fakers and the flakers and the haters in the twirl. You want the flavor, ma? Hey, I gotcha.
All right.
Yeah, that's hotness.
That's
obviously you keep that take.
Yeah. That's crazy. I love just listening to some
Holy
raw
shit.
Lupe there. That feels good, man.
Yeah, it's clear now. Like, let's say I'm Kanye, let's say I'm Jay-Z, and I'm hearing this kid in the booth after you give him a Pharrell beat, and he does that.
Yeah.
You were right.
Yeah. That's a good bet.
You were right. You were right. You're like, oh, outside and inside, when I hear this guy, like, who he is and how he raps, he seems like a good, talented dude. And then he does that. That's like a star showing up on your beat. And it's art. You got the pressure of working with the Kanye or a Pharrell this young. And I feel like to deliver on that is even harder.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of other artists go up and down with, like, being introduced at such a high level. All this dude did was benefit from it and then adapt, honestly, into even more kind of like independent style concept albums and imagery throughout the rest of his entire discography. But when he starts off like this, they're asking him to be this kind of guy, and he's wittingly, like, very witty, like, becoming that guy, but anti that guy. Like, he's not really like a superstar rapper. He doesn't have all of the features one normally has, but he has all the talent that anyone ever had at that skill.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like you have to sign him off that alone. Like, he is as gifted as we thought he was.
Yeah, you give him a beat, he's gonna make something
Incredible,
really interesting with it, and you know, he had such a creative flow at this moment to just be really attacking things in interesting ways and, like, saying fun, like, bouncy things that, like, connect in really fun, creative ways. And you know, he doesn't give you the straight metaphor; he gives you, like, a curved version of it too, and it's just always so creative.
He
always so
deters
thoughtful.
you from the lyric you actually think is going to happen. Unlike when we were playing Black Sheep episode or two ago, that feel is like, you know, he's going to say the one word phrase that you know he's going to say. But, you know, all over this track, you know, the musty, all that type of stuff, you don't see it coming because his vocabulary is that big, and it's intentionally that creative. And the man was kind of clever, smooth, and appealing all at the right time in this era. And I feel like that's why we all listened so intently when Food and Liquor and the Cool and art albums like that dropped, is because he had already proven it in the singles like Kick Push and this, that he was deserved of that platform.
Well, and he's 3 years out. So, like, I think it is 2003, where it's something like 65% of the songs on the radio are produced by the Neptunes.
Yeah.
Like, it's just he's just a couple years away from this, like, absolute dominance of Neptune beats throughout the world. So, like, he's in a prime era to connect with Pharrell. He's in a prime era to connect with Kanye and Jay-Z. And, like, it's just he captured a moment here. It
worked.
Just a banger track. Let's talk about bopability for this one. Does it feel good still?
It didn't age. You know what the thing is like, Pharrell has that level of detail too since the early 90s. He, like I just said, he went crazy with the organ.
Shout out Rump Shaker.
Yeah, but like, everything he's produced from the beginning has had, even the first Noriega song, it was all just simple keyboards. It was a simple 4-bar intro, and then it hits you with some type of energy. You're like, what? you chose that sound, you chose that theme, that note, that lyric, whatever it is, and then him being so cool over said tracks as well. Pharrell selling the hooks of all those things. It just this is another representation of this guy. He can put you on a song and make you a star because no one else can bring the energy that a Pharrell beat can.
The one thing I say that's a little sad about this is like I don't think Lupe gets this type of production ever again. Like he never gets
He
to
doesn't have that level of money on his production.
Right, so he just doesn't have the like that type of magnetic energy around him.
Well, he's a
for
producer
production.
himself.
Yeah.
So
it does change. But I mean, I guess that's kind of what happens with like Eminem, where it's like there's
Absolutely.
a shift in what happens when Eminem starts
Absolutely.
producing his own stuff. And so then, there's this change. But also like that's a reflection of budgets and that's a reflection of opportunity and all
and
the other
messaging
things.
too. Like,
Yeah.
what do you want to do the whole thing yourself? And it has to sound.
Does he
the
get
way?
the same opportunities when he's trying to do these things and not? He isn't trying to be like the other rhymers. He's trying to do something different. Does he get the same opportunities going forward? I don't know. I don't know if he gets to connect with them or how his. He's on Atlantic. That's a big label to be on.
Giant.
So yeah, it's a whole different energy working with those things. And Lupe definitely got caught up in some of the label drama and all the shit that drags artists down in their own era when they're really flying and excelling. But he also seems to be a person to be really happy to take his own independent route. So he was just gonna go his way no matter what.
The way he's carried himself from a social media standpoint or just a messaging and the way he's explained himself, there's such a high level of honesty and inspiration that he provides from that perspective. And regardless of when you picked up Lupe, you already know if you picked up Lupe, he's a genius. That dude's like, he picks up his pen and has a way. I believe he probably has 5 to 7 to 10 albums now. He has so much work. This was when what we're talking about is when he was stamped by the number one people in that genre. Yeah. And what I keep saying it over and over. Did you not hear that? He delivered on the talent, on the swag, on the skills, on the catchiness. He got you. There's so much to it that he was doing right through all those eras where I understand, people go through label drama and stuff, but he carries himself in the way I feel like Nas carries himself. There's so much integrity to the things he said on records forever that you have to believe the talent is right there. Maybe there's co-writers on any of this stuff. I imagine it's all.
It was just it's Vasalu Jocko and Pharrell Williams. That's the two.
So I'm saying if you looked on his discography, it's his name on the lyrics forever. And when you break down some Lupe lyrics on your own. It's insane. It's insane. That's the only way I can describe it, is like battle rap level, super intelligent, and everything connects, and it's not written in a corny way. It's kind of what I'm trying to describe here. Is this is a lyricist, man,
right,
where not many exist.
Because so many people will place like the I'm flexing a skill thing and that will be the thing that they're putting out versus I'm flexing a skill and making a song that you'll like.
Oh yeah,
and it won't be corny. And so there's some. It's hard to make those things where you have like really intelligent rappers try to do those things, and they sometimes will come off like they just don't connect with people because they're trying to do something so specific. This one feels like it's not trying to do anything. It's just trying to be this new sound and new feel, and the way that he's like smoothly sliding through on the lyrics. He's a lot like a needle in a groove, right? He's just bouncing off the lyric or off the sound each way.
Yeah, his cadence is insane, but also just not just like the skill he's showcasing. Every time I'll go through any of these things that are references in the song, they're not something anybody referenced that you've heard before.
Yeah, that's true.
And in the way he's doing it too, in this like kind of cocky, smooth, clever way. There are rappers that have achieved that, but with completely different referential points. He's not bragging the things other people are bragging at all. He's like,
it's not the Jizza kind of smart. It's a different kind of smart.
It's hyped in this cool, nerdy way.
Yeah.
And he's also passionate for the basic things like love and life and things like that. But the way he understands cultures, what he's referencing, his slang, from the places he goes to the things he's buying, they're not on your list. They're on Lupe's list because he's very specific. And get to know the things he's talking about and go through some of his discography, and I promise you'll just end up like me. It's like, well, that guy's a genius.
Yeah, for sure. Easy to connect with.
That guy's a damn genius.
So this has been yet another episode of Crate Diggers here. We got to pick our next episode, though. So we got to pick a record. We only got like 4 more left in our stash back here before we got to re-up. So pick a record 1 through 4.
Let's just go 1. What do we got? I'm not looking.
Our record, upside down. We'll go the other way.
That is a record.
Lil Wayne, Go DJ, Cash Money Records. We're going to get some Southern Wayne-ness in this.
So much fun.
On the next episode of Crate Diggers. So make sure you go and like and subscribe on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on
like and subscribe.
TikTok. Go give us some bumps and comments and share it with your friends. Help us pass it along. Connect to your favorite DJ homies or people who love records or people who love vinyl. Help us
make
connect.
sure you subscribe so you keep seeing good music that you love, and we'll talk about it, and you can talk about it with us in the comments too.
We want to introduce you to things, but we also want to have, some nostalgia for stuff that you've loved in the past. So.
Yeah, we have this on vinyl. This is stuff we want to talk about and get through because otherwise, it's just sitting around gathering dust. We want to share that with y'all.
So we'll be doing more of these 12-inch single episodes. We'll be bringing back the full album reaction videos here soon.
Yes, sir.
We want to say thank you to We Out Here Creative Space for allowing us to be in their incredible space here. This is like been gifted to us from them as a place to record and feel comfortable.
And it couldn't be better.
It really is a perfect space. Ray Holiday did a great job of building out this studio space here. It's got great sound in it.
Shout out to everyone that we out here.
Little and mighty, but we're going to be looking for a new space to be making our episodes. So we stacked up a few to try to make it for a little while.
Yeah.
And we'll be seeing you guys soon. I really appreciate you guys watching. We'll be back next time on Crate Diggers.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Later.
Crate Diggers.
Crate Diggers.